Are you prepared to embark on a journey of inspiration and transformation? Come join us on Positive Change, where we delve into stories of individuals whose lives have been touched by the power of JCI positivity and service. From former JCI members to community beneficiaries, each episode presents tales of impact and growth. Prepare to be uplifted and motivated as we explore the potential for change within ourselves and our communities.
Hello everyone, welcome to this week's Positive Change podcast. I am your host, Kernillia Adams, and today with me is Miss Leandra, former JC's Queen 2007 and a JC at heart. So Miss Leandra, today I am here about your experience, your journey, being a JC, being a former JCI Queen. So let's just get into it. Could you please share your experience at the Miss JC's pageant and what year did you compete?
Okay, so before I get into the actual competition, I must mention that preceding that, I was a member of the JC's chapter here. And at that time, my president was Brenda Matthew, deceased now. And one of the things that actually began at that time is sort of an exchange with the Antigua JC's chapter. And at the time, I believe it was Leslie Manuel who was president, and the second year was Faye Edwards. And I went up for the summer and actually worked with them to execute the JCI pageant. But let's when they tell you what life comes full circle, then a few years later I was a contestant. And so I know for sure they probably had to indicate to everybody to hello, Leandra is coming, so we have to be as neutral as possible. But it was a very wonderful experience. Of course, I won Miss Dominica here first, and then I participated in two other regional pageants in St. Vincent and Nevis, but of course the mother of them all was the JCI pageant, I actually was a little bit, not intimidated, I was a little bit exhausted, but still pumped because I had done two pageants and I was already feeling a little pressure. I mean, once, twice, but can you really do three, win three in a row? That was very difficult in my mind, but not impossible, And unfortunately, the contestants I met, I had already beat most of them, I have to say it like that. So I know quite a few of them were not necessarily happy to see me again, but nonetheless, we had a task ahead, and winning no particular categories, I still won Miss JCI pageants. That was the hard part, not winning any categories, so you're not necessarily knowing where the judges are or where you are on the score sheet. But being announced Miss JC's was amazing because it had been 21 years at that time since a Dominican won Miss JC's pageants in Antigua.
Wow, I a bit lost for words because what the young people say, if consistent was a person, it would definitely be you.
Correct.
So let's move on to our next question. In what ways did JC pageant stand out from other pageants that you participated in?
Well, I mean, again, the fact that a lot of Dominicans failed the task to win, I mean, some of us got as close as first runner-up but did not win. There was this whole maybe theory that, or conspiracy against Dominicans. But one thing I recognize about it, what made it stand apart from other pageants, is that very well organized. The gifts are very lavish, like they're really wonderful gifts. Not that you really know sometimes ahead, but they are, Also, it is considered the most coveted title in the Caribbean, okay? So a lot of contestants, if not all, would, get their best gowns, their best swimsuits, change talents if need be, and what have you. And surprisingly, I did nothing. I did none of the above. I kept everything I had in Dominica. We got a few things, actually. Few, changes, but nonetheless, we kept the same package. If it won, twice, can take a chance to win again. But again, as I said, it's very well organized. One thing about them, um, and really great gifts, really great activities, especially ahead of the show.
Nice, nice. So can you just tell us like about the few individuals that significantly impact on your journey as BJC?
Wow, that's so many. But I will first start off with my family. My late grandmother was just very inspirational to me, very prayerful. I mean, she did not even attend my local Miss Dominica show because she said she was too nervous, but she said I had to be the one praying at home while everybody else is screaming in the park. So my grandmother, my family, my parents. I must again mention my team at the time, my chaperone, Natalie, Marshall, Joseph, Charlene White, Christian, Esther Robinson worked with me on Q&A, Mr. Dan Guy on costume. And of course, when I traveled out of Dominica, I had very ably assisted by the Coffees. So I had Mrs. Hyacinth and Debbie Coffee, who assisted in my regional pageants, and yeah, that was an experience by itself. I was assisted by quite a few people on the side. I just say God placed quite a few people in my path as the journey was unfolding, because I remember I needed assistance on stage, and Clarence Douglas was sitting in the park in Antigua, like minding his business, and we called on him and he said, yes, I'll come and assist you. So, I mean, God just sent people all over the place to help me, Tehat Powell was in Nevis that weekend, of my show. So it just shows that, I believe in divine intervention. So God sent all his wonderful angels all over the place. But definitely Antigua, Mrs. Hyacinth, her sister, Miss Coffee, and of course my family and original team.
I was 7 at the time you went up for the show, but you actually created that visual image of the show, and I love that for you, honestly. And fun fact, Miss Charlene Christian White is an honorary member of JCI Dominica.
Oh, great. But let me just also mention, how can I not mention this? My sponsor, Malcolm Stephen and Son, like the best sponsor and best sponsor ever. I mean, he spared no costs, resources to ensure that I had a great reign. So I must thank him for all that he has done. Originally I was from his Dominica in 2005, and I decided to step away, and he said, I'll wait for you. He said, I won't sponsor anybody until it's your turn. So I did that in 2007. So very loyal and very supportive sponsor.
What is for you is always for you.
Correct.
So, can you just describe your role as a JC's ambassador?
Okay, so the year I won Miss JC's as well as my other titles, I of course was invited locally to be involved with a lot of charities, schools, and so forth. It's not as engaging as today. I know the JCI are very engaging in the current Miss JC's, but I must say at least locally they utilized me, Recently, as former Miss JC's, I was actually invited to be a host of the actual Miss JC show, which was last year, 2023, and that was such a pleasure. I have served as chaperone, contestant, queen, chaperone, host, judge, that too, at the Miss JC's pageant. So again, here, full circle. I think I told them the only thing I haven't done is mow the lawn in the stadium at the show, but I've done most of the work there already.
I definitely believe that you're a JCI full package.
Definitely.
Okay, so what advice would you give young women who would want to participate in the Miss JC's pageant?
Okay, so I'm a living example of giving advice because I serve as a chaperone. I have actually chaperoned one contestant who became a Miss JC's herself in 2016, Tassia Plusa. I've served as a chaperone, but unfortunately due to COVID, we could not travel. My best advice, well, first of all, the advice begins at the local leg. To be ready to work very hard. It takes a lot mentally, physically, spiritually to participate in pageants. It's not as easy as many people think it is, you know. And of course, once you win, you have the job to represent your island. So you need to know about your island. That is very important. You have to step out and be ready to speak, you know, about Dominica, and so your scope has to widen. You need to do reading, you need to engage the essential individuals and organizations in Dominica who would make that possible for you, you know. Of course, again, continued hard work for the pageant, so working on your body, working on your confidence. Most times you think that by the time you win the first show, it's confidence is there. Actually, it's not. You are a work in progress. So we advise our contestants, you know, to just keep empowering themselves mentally, spiritually, their body, physically, you know, eat well, go to the gym, you know, continue having great relationships with your family. Or sometime during your local pageants, they may have to be isolated because you're focused on the task, you know. But continue building good relationships. And of course, get a bomb team and a bomb package to win regionals. You know, it takes winning gown, great swimsuit walk, okay? And at least when you become Miss Dominica, you have all the resources that your island can offer. You no longer are part of a team. Dominica is your team, you know? So utilize as many people with the talents, the skills, the know-how to win that show. But again, it comes down to you, how badly you want it. You have to go out and work round by round. I always advise my contestants, go out there, work round by round. Don't think of the evening while you are attempting talent. Work at each round and never give up. Because sometimes you think, okay, I had a bad round, and you depress yourself for the rest of the night. No. Keep fighting, because sometimes, you know, somebody else is probably having a bad round or two, you know. So you have to make sure that you are always consistent, as we mentioned.
So I think it's only fit and fair that our audience get a bit of who is Leandra Landa. So can you tell us a little bit more about you outside of your JC or your JCI name?
Child, that might take a week. But okay, let's as quickly as I can. I am an educator by career. So I've been working at the convent high school for 18 years, where I attended myself. While I'm a geography teacher, I am most passionate about the arts. So I am the director of Jaycess, which includes the choir, speech chorale, and the sign language club. So I get my little humans, as I call them, to get involved in as many cultural activities in Dominica, because that's why I feel they can appreciate the island. It's a very unique Generation Z I'm teaching now, so sometimes they're not quite in touch with culture as I would like them to. So I try to engage them in many different activities. I consider myself to be still evolving and growing my faith. I'm Catholic, but I am always one who embraces everyone, you know, on their journey to spirituality and what have you. I love reading. I love eating.
Oh, you're a foodie?
Yes. I'm big on things like pasta. I love fish. I love ice cream. I love wine. And I love black pudding and stuffed eggs. If you don't have that at your events, don't invite me, please. I love to have a good time. I love creative work. And most importantly, at my heart right now is my business, Lovely Things. I've had it for 13 years, but over the last 4 years, I rebranded and put a little bit extra push into it, and it's been really doing well, which takes up quite a lot of my time. I just recently finished my master's in project management with UWI Global, so I'm just waiting on the official word to say that I'll be crossing the stage big time. But I'm pretty excited about that. It was a lot of work. Recently, I hosted or led the first ever Twin Festival anywhere in the Caribbean. So right here in Dominica, and that was a great challenge, but it was a great opportunity. So that's some of the things that I'm conquering day by day.
So, Ms. Leandra, I just want to say on behalf of JCI Dominica and all the JCs regionally, internationally, you're truly an inspiration to us all.
Yes.
And sometimes you may see somebody walking on the street and you're like, okay, who's that person? But getting to know you or getting to know a bit of you, I mean, your legacy will live on for JCI forever. So just thank you on behalf of JCI Dominica and the 65th Anniversary Committee for coming here today and sharing a bit of you with us. We truly appreciate it. Thank you.
And of course, I'm sure this will be seen across the Caribbean. So I want to say thank you to JCI Dominica for inviting me here. I really appreciate it. I'd also like to just send a little shout out to Antigua. Thank you to the JCs of Antigua who have been so supportive over the years in having me in my different capacities. And a very special shout out to Senator Kernillia, who I love very dearly and is extremely supportive of not just my JCI activities, but all the little things that she sees that I'm engaged in and tend to reach out and support, So thank you very much and blessings to you all.
Thank you.
Were you uplifted and motivated? Thank you for watching JCI Dominica Positive Change Podcast with JC Kernillia Adams. Tune in next time.